How's everybody doing? Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be reading through One Piece chapter 1079. So I'm really excited about this chapter because the last one was absolutely, it was an insane chapter the last week. We found out who the traitor was. After all this time, it turns out that it is one of the Vegapunks, York to be specific. So she went ahead and shot Shaka. Shaka's lying on the ground bleeding to death. Vegapunk now knows the truth, and then when he asked York, hey, why are you doing this? She was all like, oh, Stella, it's because I want to be a celestial dragon. And then Vegapunk was all like, you know what they are. You know what they can do. You've seen it. Why in the world would you ever want to be one of them? And that also, he makes a good point, because when you think about it, right? When you think about it, in what world would the celestial dragons accept York into their group? You know what I'm saying? Where is that logic? Why would York ever think that the celestial dragons are gonna accept her and let her in, let her become one of them, unless she has some pretty good dirt on somebody? But even then, it's really unrealistic. Where does that logic come from? I guess you could point it towards the fact that York is, I believe York is the one that has the personality of greed. You know how Vegapunk split himself into the into the different Vegapunks, right? Each one has a different personality. York is the embodiment, whatever the heck. She has, her attribute is greed. Greed. That's her thing. She wants more and more and more. So, but that also kind of, it makes me think, all right, each Vegapunk that was created has a personality trait of the real Vegapunk. So does this mean that the real Vegapunk at one point, even if he never thought about it, maybe in the back of his mind, maybe at one point the real Vegapunk is all like, man, wouldn't it be great to be a celestial dragon? Imagine all the things that could do. And maybe now with York having her own personality, maybe that part of Vegapunk is coming out. You know what I'm saying? So now that's the big thing. That was the big shocker at the end. Also, we have to keep in mind that the narrator freaking hyped up that the conclusion to Egghead Island, known as the Egghead Incident, it was going to be something that it was going to shake the world, The narrator said that the conclusion of it is going to shake the world. It's going to make waves. It's going to be unbelievable, right? And when you look at who is coming to Egghead Island, you can tell that the significance of the Egghead Island incident is going to be massive, because you got the Navy coming into Egghead Island. And then on top of that, you got heavy hitters such as Admiral Kizaru with St. J. Garcia Saturn. They are all on their way to Egghead Island because, the original mission was to take out Dr. Vegapunk. CP0's mission was to kill him. But then, one of my favorite parts of the chapter last week was, the unexpected arrival of Emperor Straw Hat Luffy's ship basically, made that plan go to the garbage, right? It's like, oh crap, he's there? We can't do it now. So now all these heavy hitters are on their way to frickin' Egghead Island. Now this also makes me wonder, because Morgans is out there doing his own thing with the newspaper. This makes me wonder, is the Straw Hat Grand Fleet gonna show up? And if so, when and where? Because, back in the day in Dressrosa, when the Straw Hat Grand Fleet was formed, remember the narrator also said, this group will be the cause for a big event that will shock the world, but that's a story for another time. So I'm wondering if what the narrator was referring to in Dressrosa, is it the same event that he was referring to last week, the Egghead Island incident? Maybe. It's possible. Because you got to think about this. When Luffy was in Wano country, when Luffy was fighting versus Kaido in Wano, he died. He legit died for even if it was, I don't know how long he was dead for, but he died, and then he awakened his fruit, right? So remember, they have the Straw Hat Grand Fleet, they have Luffy's Beaver card, right? At the moment of his death, I'm pretty sure that card started like, burning away, like burning out, similar to what happened with in Marineford with Ace. We saw that. We saw how that process went, right? So, as Luffy was taking damage, that card, that piece of paper was getting smaller and smaller. At the moment of his death, it probably started essentially turning to ash, turning to nothing, right? At that moment, I'm pretty sure the Straw Hat Grand Fleet was alerted, like, oh crap, something's happening to our captain. We gotta find out where he is, and we gotta set sail right now. And then you have Big News Morgan's putting out his newspaper, and then whatever the headline was, I think it was like, I forgot what the headline was, but it's essentially made to stir up drama, right? Controversy. So, with that being out there as well, the Straw Hat Grand Fleet, they're on the move. At some point, they're going to show up. If it's not here, they're going to show up eventually. And then you got to think about the background. What's going on in the background? You got Garp pulling up to Blackbeard's territory. You got Kid versus Elbaf. You got Kid and Shanks in Elbaf. And then... What's Law doing right now? I forgot what Law's doing. Anyway, the point is, there's a lot of things happening in the One Piece world that is happening behind the scenes, and that's what makes this story so great. It's not just the main characters that gets the spotlight. Everything else, it's building. Everything. The world is like incredibly... It's so well put together, right? And we care about everything that's going on. And I realize I'm going on and on and on about this, but I think it's just important to talk about, and it just goes to show you how enthusiastic this story makes me, and it really makes everybody really enthusiastic. It really puts you into it, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, and then one other thing we saw in the last chapter is that we got a glimpse of Bonnie, who had completed seeing all of Kuma's memories. We just got one panel of her, just shadow casting over her, darkness. She just had her hand in her face and tears just rolling down her cheeks, crying her eyes out. So I want to see what the deal with Kuma is, because he's also on his way to Marisha. He's climbing up the red line. So that's going to be another interesting thing to see how that happens. And then I'm thinking about, okay, when is Doflamingo Seraphim going to show up? When is Crocodiles, Buggies, whatever the heck, right? Doflamingo Seraphim, I'm surprised it wasn't... I'm surprised he wasn't the traitor, because I saw some similarities that could have happened. He's of royal blood. Doflamingo's of royal blood, so the Seraphim infused with that DNA is technically of royal blood. And at some point, if that consciousness overwrote the Seraphim's will, he could have definitely been the traitor and then shot Vegapunk, shot Shaka in the head like Doflamingo did his dad, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, there's just a lot to talk about. But I'm gonna leave it right here, and I'm gonna get started on this chapter, and then after that, we'll come back and analyze what happened and all of that good stuff. So, let me go ahead and start reading One Piece chapter 1079. Okay, yeah, so One Piece chapter 1079, The Red-Haired Pirates, an Emperor's Crew. And then we got the cover story is, so the cover story is different. It's no longer Germa's story. So that ended, it looks like. So this cover story is a cover request by Sunflower Shop from Tokyo. Luffy watering a lion, mistaking it for a sunflower. Yeah, that sounds like something Luffy would do, 100%. Alright, so next page. A few hours earlier. Okay, so we're getting a little flashback here. This is a bit of a pickle. The world government isn't just after the Stella. They're apparently looking to eliminate me, too. Okay, so we're looking into York's plan. Luckily, I had a contingency plan, just in case they decided to play it this way. For starters, I want you to wipe out all the pests around here. You can kill everyone now that the Frontier Dome is up again. Spare no one except for the Stella, the hostages underground, and me. Understood. Okay, so she's giving the orders to all the Seraphims. Hey, you gotta take everybody out except the real Vegapunk, the hostages, and myself. Alright. So that's what happened a few hours earlier. Okay, next page. When you guys go rogue... okay, can I say something real quick? I want to point this out. Just very quick sidetracking. You notice how in Egghead Island, Oda has been drawing his characters, his woman characters, with a lot of booty shots. I don't know. Is that a new thing that he's been doing? Or kind of fan service there? Okay, like look at this pose that York is in right now. And then we saw Nami's pose a few chapters back. And then, anyway, look. Just something I noticed. Let's get back to the reading. Okay, so she's saying, when you guys go rogue, I'm sure it'll trigger a whodunit style investigation. If my cover gets blown, I won't stand a chance in a fight. So to ensure they don't catch me, as Snake, I want you to get me in front of everyone. Understood. And then that's exactly what happened in chapter 1075. Boa Hancock Seraphim petrified her. Okay. Understood. Be sure to free me when no one's looking. Got it. And one more thing. There's an area of the lab that I don't want you to damage. And we don't get to see what she said. She just says, there's an area of the lab I don't want you to damage. It's ... Next panel is just, we don't get to see what she said. Okay then. Let the hunt begin. Freaking... Okay. And now we cut to next panel. Punk Records. Hurry! Everyone onto the ships. Got Sentimaru, Seraphim, Pacifista shots, PX0, I believe. Okay, we're getting the heck out of here. Okay. Alright. Oh, no way. Hold up. Is that who I think it is? I just scrolled down, and this next panel, that's freaking Blackbeard. I think is Blackbeard pulling up to Egghead? No way. Hold up. If this is Blackbeard, things are gonna get freaking spicy. And then next page we cut to Warland Elbaf, New World. Why are the kid pirates splashing about here? Have you come for our beloved chief? I won't ribbit myself again. You're not going to see him, so just hop off. Trust the captain to get tongue-tied. Captain of the Puddle Pirates. Padded Toe Geratoni. What? Anyway. He speaks the... What? These guys are talking weird. Alright. He speaks the tooth. The tooth. Okay. Oh, his freaking denture. Okay, they just popped out. His teeth just popped out. Okay. No wonder why he can't talk. He talks all funny. Alright. Gramps, your dentures. Head of the Social Club Pirates. Gravetooth Fugar. Fugar? Okay, whatever. The Social Club Pirates? What the heck? Alright, that's an interesting name. Okay. You icky pleb, I hate your guts. Wow, you're so bold, princess. Princess of the Bourgeoisie Pirates. Panicky Pururu. Okay. Alright, scrolling down. What the hell? Are these jokers really with red hair? This is supposed to be the new world, isn't it? They've got some big names with them. Don't lower your guard. Don't worry. I never pull my punches. Tell them to retreat. What are you saying, Chief? We won't let them lay a finger on you. I appreciate the sentiment, but I want all ships to fall back. You're already heading off, Chief? We only just met up. I was just stopping by, but I lost track of time. And this big shot showed up, so now I gotta deal with him. Get those ships to move and open a path. The real reason you have to deal with him is because the fleet's notoriously weak. Dahahaha, you're not supposed to say that out loud. A bunch of us wouldn't have lived this long if it weren't for your flag's protection. The only enemy you need to worry about is Father Time, Granny Ori. Ho ho ho, well aren't you cheeky? Okay. Don't sweat it. Don't sweat it, Chief, we can handle this. You shouldn't underestimate the growth of these youngsters. His head's worth 3 billion after all. Still, has he had enough time to heal since he was on Wano? He looks lively enough, and he seems up for a fight. Guess it's fine then. Any news on Blackbeard? Nope. Last we heard, he left Pirate Island. I was sure he was going to show his face in Wano. We've got some info on Captain Kidd, though. So he's from the South Blue. He sure did a lot of rampaging to make it this far. How many ships are there now? 9. And there's plenty of faces I recognize from the bounty posters. The bounty posters on them. Okay. Oh, this is a big panel spread. All right, let me try to read in order. I don't give a damn who we're up against. I'll blast them down to the ocean in 10 seconds flat. Eat this, damned punk. And then he's going in. All right. Whoa, what the hell is that? Some sort of massive cannon? Is it me, or are we getting pulled in? Okay, this is bad. What's going on, Chief? Get all the ships to move aside now. Dory, Brogy, get in position. It's about time. Okay. Alright, they're getting... Okay. He's about to do some serious damage. Sounds like you've seen a lot of... Sounds like you've seen a hell of a future. Yeah, as expected. What? Red hair. Divine departure. Oh, crap. I think, dang. Kid just freaking divine departured, not Kid. Shanks just divine departured Kid. Isn't that, have we seen that technique before? Has Shanks used it before? Or did Big Mom use it in Whole Cake? I forget. Maybe I'm remembering wrong. Maybe I'm mixing up some of the attacks, but I feel like this looks, anyway, look. Let's just keep going on. So it looks like Kid just got tagged really bad. Oh, yeah, next page is just a big explosion. Kaboom! Yeah, okay. Alright. Oh, yeah, Kid is hurting. Look at this panel. He's bleeding. He's looking like he just got freaking the air punched out of him. Captain! Wah! Ka-chink! Tap, tap. Yeah, they're getting wrecked, dude. Shanks looks like he didn't even he's looking all cool, calm, and collected. Look at this panel. Can't even see his eyes. That's how cool he is. Killer's down, too. Even Killer got caught in it. He was trying to help. The captain's not moving. Is he going to die? Red hair, we surrender. Please have mercy. Don't kill our captain. Here, take them. Our road poneglyphs. Just like that? Holy moly, the Kid pirates are... Okay, hold up. Kid is down. It looks like he's out cold. Hey, Chief, over here. Fwish. Okay, sound effect. Huh? Wait, something's happening on the island. Okay. Oh, crap. Oh, crap. Hey, little people. Yeah, haha. Oh, crap. This is gonna hurt. If you're gonna point a cannon at someone's home, you better be ready for when they fire back. So, and then, yeah, they're gonna get killed right now. They're laughing. Yeah, and then gababa. I like their unique laughs. Yeah, this is gonna suck for them. Hot Coke, holy moly. I think this is Big Mom's attack that she used in Whole Cake, because she kind of adopted that from her time in Elbaf. Yeah, Hakoku sovereignty. Oh, yeah, holy crap. This looks like it's gonna hurt. Pretty sure I butchered that name's attack, but that attack's name, but anyway. On this day in the New World by Elbaf, so got the narrator talking. On this day in the New World by Elbaf, the Kid Pirates, led by Eustace, Captain Kidd, a man worth 3 billion, was completely eradicated. A decisive victory. And that is the end of One Piece chapter 1079. It says there's a break next week, but let me make sure there's no post-credits teaser like there's been in the past. Next page. Nope, that's it. That's it. Oh, crap, man. Wow. So just like that, huh? Just like that, Kid is wiped out. Kid and his crew are wiped out, just like that. All it took were 2 attacks, one by Shanks, one by the Giants. You know, I honestly didn't think. Honestly, I never once thought that the Kid Pirates and Shanks were gonna be on equal terms. maybe at one point I was like, hey, you know what? There might be some surprise. There might be an upset. But then I thought about it. I'm like, there's no way. If they were to compete in a Davy back fight, maybe at that point I could give them a shot. But when I saw that kid, when I saw that shit, I can't even talk right because anyway, look, when I saw that Shanks was in Elbaf with his crew, with his fleet, with the backing of the Giants, who are the strongest military in the One Piece world, and when I saw the shot of Shanks walking with his crew, with Dory, Brogy, Oimo, Kashi, and all the other giants behind him, I looked at that panel and I was like, yeah, there is absolutely no way that kid can even stand. He can't even hold up a candle to Shanks and his crew right now. He's so well liked by everybody. There's absolutely no way in the world, there is no way in the world, in any scenario, that kid would end up the winner. Absolutely no way. Freaking Vince McMahon theme song, play it. No chance in hell, dude. Absolutely none at all. No way Shanks was losing. And this seemed almost too easy. And just, how confident Kid looked. He was like, this is somebody, teaming up with Law, of course. But this is somebody that was in Wano. And he, with Law, took down an emperor. And, Big Mom, of course. They took down Big Mom. And that led, worth 3 billion, right? And he makes the first move here. He's all like, you know what? Eat this. Let me show you what I can do. Start to pull the ships towards him, right? And then, and look at the red hair pirates. They're all like, man, they're all like, hey, you're seeing far into the future, huh? You saw a hell of a future, because Shanks all like, he's about to do some serious damage, and then I think that's Beckman. He's all like, you saw a lot. You saw into the future, huh? And then Shanks is all like, as expected. And then Kid is just like, what? Red hair. And then divine departure. Kid gets obliterated. Next panel, we see a big explosion, the aftermath. Kid is down. Eyes in the back of his head. You could just see the white. And then Shanks just calmly walking up. Not even breaking a sweat, dude. And then Killer is down as well. And then the remainder of the crew is all like, hey, red hair, hey, we don't want to deal with you. Hey, take it easy, man. We don't want to deal with you. We surrender. Hey, have mercy on us. Please don't kill our captain. Take this. And they're handing over the copies of their road poneglyphs, their writings, the rubbings, whatever the heck. They handed them over to them like that. Just like that, dude. And then Kid's out cold. And then in come the Giants. Yeah. And then they're all like, hey, I like the language they use here. Like, hey, little people, they're giants. But just to demean them even more, just to kind of diminish their strength even more, they made it a point to say, hey, little people, if you're going to point a cannon at someone's home, you better be ready for when they fire back, and freaking annihilate it. And the narrator made it a point to say, on this day in the New World by Elbaf, the Kid Pirates led by Eustace Captain Kidd, a man worth 3 billion berries, was completely eradicated. And then, caption, a decisive victory. I think the last time the narrator said that was, from my memory, at least the moment that sticks out, was in Sabaody when Kuma wiped out the Straw Hats. At the end of that episode, or chapter, whatever the heck, the narrator made it a point to say, on this day, I forget what grove they were on, like grove 6 or whatever. The narrator said, on this day, on Sabaody, the Straw Hat Pirates led by Monkey D. Luffy suffered a complete and utter defeat. Roughly along those lines is what the narrator said. But yeah, this is crazy, because how strong is Shanks? Because, Big Mom was no joke, right? Big Mom was no joke, but Kid had to team up with Law to take her down. And even then, she's not dead. We don't know. Her her status along with Kaido is unconfirmed. Like, it's just unknown. They're not dead. I think they're too big of characters to die like that. So their status is unconfirmed. They were, if I remember correctly, they were just like shoved underground into the volcanic lava or the volcano, something like that. Coincidentally, like in Wano where Pluton is, I believe. So maybe that might come into play later. But Shanks is really being made out to be like this. We all knew he was strong, but we're starting to get more of a look at how strong he is. And he made Kid look like fodder, like a pushover, like he's some type of side character. Think about who's coming to Egghead Island now. Think of who's already in Egghead. Luffy and his crew, the Straw Hat Pirates. CP0. The other government agents who are hostages. The Vegapunks. The Seraphim. The Pacifistas. And then pulling up to Egghead is, Blackbeard. We just established that. And then the Navy, who is being led by Admiral Kizaru and St. J. Garcia Saturn, one of the 5 elders who, up until now, we have never seen an elder leave their chambers, his chambers. But this situation is big enough that one of the 5 elders has to pull up to Egghead as well, with the intent of killing Dr. Vegapunk. Will we get to see fighting between them? Like, the way the 5 elders are being built up, they gotta be ridiculously strong. Like, borderline broken, overpowered, OP, right? But the narrator said that there's gonna be a massive event that's gonna change the world. To me, this could mean one of 2 things, right? I see this going one of 2 ways, right? Number 1, Dr. Vegapunk gets killed. Number 2, St. J. Garcia Saturn gets killed. Because when you look at it, those two events would be big enough to cause like irreplaceable damage to the One Piece world. You lose Dr. Vegapunk, the genius mind of Dr. Vegapunk is eliminated, right? But if you lose one of the 5 elders, I think that's even bigger than losing Dr. Vegapunk, because then if Saturn were to die, his death would no doubt be pinned on the Straw Hats. And then that sets the tone for the all-out war to end all wars, because that would be a world war for One Piece. No doubt about it, because by taking... If Saturn dies, one of the 5 elders dies, and then the Straw Hats are blamed for it, yeah, that's going to do it. Every government agency is going to be on the Straw Hats, and then what's going to happen after that? It's going to be the Straw Hats and their Grand Fleet versus the world. On their way to finding Laugh-Tale and the One Piece that Joy Boy left behind, you know what I'm saying? And then you got to take into account the other people who are making moves behind the scenes, And St. J. Garcia Saturn's death isn't too far-fetched. It's not outside the realm of possibility, because when we were introduced to him by name, we were kind of... It's like the seeds were already planted. They were all like, hey, you tested that tea. I think he was drinking tea. You made sure to test that for poison, right? And Kizaru was like, yeah, it's all good. So it's like Oda's already planting the seeds that, hey, this elder, Saturn, he might die. Because the seeds are already planted there with the poison. So either he gets poisoned and he dies. Another possibility, right? Saturn is there to wipe out Vegapunk. But who's to say the Navy, including Kizaru, isn't off limits? Because let's assume, I think Saturn's ultimate mission is to go to Egghead Island and eliminate Dr. Vegapunk and anybody who could have been in contact with him and even got a hint of the Void Sentry. This includes, even if it's accidental, so if the Marines go and somehow by accident they if by accident they come across some secrets of the Void Sentry, including Kizaru himself, Saturn wouldn't hesitate to take them out. Like, he would Buster Call everybody. Honestly, at that point, I think that would happen. So there's so many ways this could go. But I think either Vegapunk dies, Saturn dies, or Egghead just gets wiped off the map. And Im could easily do that with her weapon, the way she did Lulusia Kingdom and God Valley back in the day, I assume. But then there's also the possibility that one of the 5 elders might not be completely on board with what they've done. I got to go back to check, because I think at one point there might have been an elder that had some sort of regret about Buster calling Ohara. I don't know if it was Saturn or the bald guy, but the bald guy, he is suspicious to me because he's the only one not wearing black out of the 5 elders. Everybody else is wearing black. And then white is, he's wearing white, like a white kimono. In the United States, in America, you know, black tends to be the color of death. You know, at a funeral, people wear black. And white seems to be the color of purity, you know, pure as snow, whatever the heck. It seems to be associated with goodness, whatever the heck, purity. If I remember correctly, I don't know how true this is. I got to refresh my mind. I got to look it up. But if I remember correctly, I think in Japan it's the opposite. I think white in Japan, it's the color of death. I think that's how it goes. And again, I got to check my sources again. But I think I don't know if it's in Japan or if it's in South Korea or in another Asian country. But I'm pretty sure I don't know where I heard this. Like, I'm just going by memory. I'm pretty sure white is the color of death in some Asian country. Maybe Asia as a whole, the continent. If that is the case, am I looking too far into this? But if that's the case, because the bald guy is wearing white, you know, and this is a Japanese series, maybe that symbolizes that he's gonna be like, he's like the omen of death. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's gonna be the odd man out, whether for good or bad or worse, whatever the heck. I feel, I don't know. Look, I'm trying to connect the dots here, you know. This is the great thing about One Piece. You can make all these speculations, and no matter how crazy the theories sound, I don't care. I just say what's on my mind, and I don't care how people feel about it, but I'm trying to make connections here. You know, people make all those type of connections from real life Japan into One Piece and whatever the heck. Because we know there are connections like that, right? But I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. But there's just so much more to talk about. There's so much more. But I can't get over how fast and quickly Kid got wiped out in this chapter. That's crazy to me. Also, can I just say, the color spread of Luffy and Robin side by side sitting with guns in their hands, pretty, and you know, sunglasses, pretty sick. One of my favorite panels. But yeah, that was the end of One Piece chapter 1079, and it does say we got a break next week, so 2 weeks until the next chapter. A lot of time to speculate and analyze this chapter and make some new theories and see where this story goes. But yeah, One Piece is getting spicy. Man. When are they going to animate Sun God Nika in the anime? That's the question. Like, I want to see that. I want to Joy Boy animated. Anyway, look. I'm distracted now. I'm thinking about something else. But yeah, like I said, as for my reading of One Piece chapter 1079, that's going to do it for today. Hope y'all enjoyed. Let me know what y'all thought. Other than that, I need to get water. I just realized I haven't drank water this entire chapter. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed the reading, like I said. So, yeah. Have a good one. Stay safe out there. Take care. And I'll see you in the next video.